All right, so let's go ahead and finish up Jonah 3:2. The previous video did Jonah 3:2a. Let's go ahead and finish Jonah 3:2b. So see if you can pronounce this line of Hebrew. Now, if you're like me, you're not a little bit puzzled with this very first word. And I frankly still don't know the answer. I don't think my Gazanius grammar is nearby, or I would look it up. But we have what appears to be a sharuk, which is a vowel, u, so it would be ukara if we took that way. But there's a hirik here too, so it's like vowel. That's very strange. I mean, my disposition is to pronounce it as vikra, but it might be ukara. Actually, ukara, maybe that's the way I'm going to vote, ukara. But the hirik is very strange to me. And I wonder if there's something wrong here. Feel free to put them in the comments if you're looking at the YouTube version of this. But anyway, let's go with vikra, eleha. This particular combination, a leka, a leha, usually the stress is on the second to last syllable, on the a part. A leha, a leka. Et hakaria asher anoki dover aleka. Okay, it translates something like this. And call to her, so call to Nineveh, tell them you're going to fry, and call eleha to her. El is to, ha is the pronominal suffix, third feminine singular, her, to her. Et is the definite direct object marker, so we're not surprised to see hey, patak doubling, the definite, and it's the direct object. Call what to her? Call to her the calling, or call to her the announcement. You can see that kara, this is a noun, but you can see that kara is kind of hidden in there. There's a hirik yod there, which may suggest that there's some kind of a hiphil feel to this, the causing to call, or anyway, we don't want to over make it. The Kamatz Hey tells us that it's a feminine singular noun. So this is feminine singular absolute from kari or kariah is the noun, feminine noun. Call to her the calling. Hebrew has this tendency to, it's called pleonasm, where you say, you have both the verb and the noun, dying you will die, that kind of thing. Here it is, call to her the calling. Asher is the relative pronoun. The calling that. Anoki is the pronoun I, you know it. And call to her the pronouncement that I am dover. This is davar, which means to speak. And then do you remember that cholam sere combo? What is that? It's the basic participle. That I am speaking, el to ka you, second masculine singular. So, and call to her that her warfare, no, that's a different verse. Call to her the pronouncement that I am speaking to you. Okay? So there's the translation of the verse. So two items of interest here. I've already mentioned dover, which is the participle, the basic participle. But I want us to look at kara here. Let's forget about that strange vav on the front. It means and. But let's go with kara. What is kara? Well, we know that the verb kara is to call. But what is kara? What form is that? Well, this is an imperative, and I translate it that way. The way I kind of think of the, hey, you, call your brother, second masculine singular, if I'm talking to a singular guy, hey, you, call this, call the Culligan man. And it's the base stem, so it's call or Grundstamm G, basic stem. The way I think of the imperative, second masculine singular, is if you take the imperfect, so yikra would be the imperfect form, and if you chop off the yod, if you chop off the performative, you're left with the imperative. So if you take, this doesn't always work, but if you take the imperfect, chop off the performative, a lot of times that gives you the second masculine singular imperative. It works here because you can see that kara is exactly what happens when you chop the yod off the front. So, and call, hey you, call the palace. Hey, call the palace. Anyway, but so this is an imperative. And the next video I believe I'm going to systematize the G stem imperative basic pattern in the next video. I've already mentioned dover, which is again, it's the call participle or the G participle, masculine, singular, absolute. It's not in construct or anything like that. And so speaking worked really well. Okay, I've beaten this dead horse. So, and call to her, to Nineveh, the pronouncement, the calling, that I am speaking to you. Well, let's find out what that calling is in the next verse.